Thank you. How's it going? Good. How am I? I'm pretty good. I'm growing a new beard. I didn't know that was so exciting, but thank you. Yeah.
I think slam poetry is really useful in high schools because there's a sense sometimes that the poetry that is being taught in schools is a little bit outdated, or it's just not hitting kids in the same way that slam poetry can. It's a very immediate form. Kids come, we interact with them, and we write poems about everyday experience in fairly everyday language. It's a great introduction to poetry.
We'll come and they'll do a poem, and then you, the audience, gets to judge their poem. In general, there are only 3 rules of poetry slam. It's pretty basic. The first rule is they're going to perform a poem that they have written themselves. They can't just steal it, like they can't just punch their brother in the face and be like, I got your amazing poem, yeah. That's, I mean, who fights over poetry? Give me my poem! Second rule is that you are not allowed to use props or costumes or musical instruments, so it has to be just you and your voice. And the third rule is that the poem has to be 3 minutes long. There's a 3-minute time limit, and if they go over that, they start getting points deducted. Being really, really excited about that. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. So you guys have to come up on stage. So give your judges a round of applause. Alright, okay. So I'm going to give each of our judges a whiteboard, and on the whiteboard they're going to write their score. So what's your name?
Sola.
And what grade are you in?
9.
And what do you think will make you a very good judge of poetry?
I'm critical.
Really? I will do a poem, and then we'll get to the real poems. So if I had a daughter, I'd work her. So anybody ever called her a nerd on the school ground, she would just turn around and whip throwing stars at her. Of course, I teach her to use these powers for the good of humanity, right? You know, like help old people across the street by stopping buses with her bare hands. Right hand side, and you just me on my high five.
Oh, I dissed you on your high five? Sorry.
I was...
Passes in the Senate when it lent itself a double in pension. Then it rented out the men it represented, no mention that it ratified a law, removing all of the tension to the way that they trenching us, slacking and backbenching us, acting like the people ain't the reason that they're wrenching us around like we was nuts. That makes the system a bolt. So is it time for asking questions, or is it time to revolt?
We have 9.6. Then we have a 10.
You to say the vowels to him. I wanted your brother to hear the whole words of my name, because it is my name, and I believe it is prettier than the way you made it sound. No need to talk to Freckles anymore now, because as you and I both know, my name was always prettier than the way you made it sound.
Dear Sasquatch, I won't apologize for the time I called your sister abominable. But each night, I will phone Grouse Mountain, asking them to blink out a Morse code I miss you with their ski hill floodlights. Please set a forest fire near Whistler if you feel the same.
The main thing that I tell teachers and educators about slam is that there's very few times when youth get to tell their stories. Their entire lives are generally about regurgitating other information in class, but they never get a chance to express their ideas and their stories. And slam is a venue in which kids actually get to do that, and they become empowered because of it.
So we have about 10 minutes for question and answer. I mean, you don't have to ask any questions, but if you don't, it might get awkward, like a really bad date, like we'll just stare at you. We can talk a bit about it.
I think the performance you had here were real. They were talking about issues that they understood, even though they talked about the Sasquatch, you know. But they could find truth in it, and they recognize that in terms of their clapping, their interaction with it. Yeah, does it fit the curriculum? Sure. We have poetry units here all the time. Is it this kind of poetry? No. And should it be more of this? Yes, because then it's theirs. It's their language. It legitimizes that if they have something to say, they have a forum to say it and a way to say it. Yeah. They just have to choose to say it.
Hey, can you guys give it up for all the poets? And you guys were great audience.